friends, welcome to Music Money. This is the part of the channel where I react to music, pretty much. Now, you may be wondering, okay, what's with the thumbnail with the whole not a voice teacher? Well, I have been incredibly amused by the, I would call redundant and ridiculousness of the voice teacher little arrow thing. Now, at first, I only saw one voice teacher do that, and that was Hannah Bales, who is a fun voice teacher to watch. Definitely check out her channel. But then I noticed that there were voice teachers who weren't doing that before, who had a set thumbnail, changing out their style a little bit because of that. Not necessarily because of Hannah, but because it's become a pattern. And I'm like, this is a stupid pattern. Obviously, if you're the person in the thumbnail, if you're the only person in the thumbnail, one would assume that you are the voice teacher in the video. Like, what? So I just thought it'd be really funny to put not a voice teacher reacts to music. And there will be some, because this is a secondary channel, because my original channel was taken down for copyright strikes that had to do with Warner Media, not with music. You're going to see this channel become a mixture, in terms of music anyway, a mixture of old reactions, with a kind of caveat at the beginning, a new caveat at the beginning, and new reactions, this being one of them. Now, we are about to react to Wicked Medley by VoicePlay. Yes, VoicePlay. I was supposed to say Voctive. I was like, no, it's a different band. A different group. So I am excited about that. I have really come to really enjoy different a cappella groups. I do enjoy, I'm forgetting their names, but they do the country music. I'm blanking on their names. I do enjoy them a lot. I think they have a great sound. But I also really enjoy VoicePlays. I like their sound. They've gone through, unlike some of the other groups, they've gone through a major change of voices in the past few years. People coming on as guests and then staying, but then people who were part of their original group just leaving. So they've lost quite a few members in a short period of time, a few years, which is a short period of time. But they have a wonderful sound. Jeff, who I originally thought was pronounced Geoff, of course, is one of those amazing basses. Tim Faust, Avi Kaplan, those two are great as well. There's other great bass singers as well. But I thought it would be fun to kind of basically not only react to it, but take all the information that I've learned from watching actual real voice teachers, as well as using my own music background, because I do have a music background. Mostly it's instrumental, saxophone, marching band. So using those two together to kind of not be a voice teacher, but react to the video in terms of how they're presented, in terms of arrangement, in terms of sounds. Again, I'm not a voice teacher, so anything that really comes out of my mouth about their voice, I've learned from voice teachers, which again is part of the reason why I have in my little thumbnail, not a voice teacher, because I'm not. So everything is just being parroted, maybe even incorrectly parroted, so take what I say with a spoonful of sugar. So without further ado, we are going to dive into the Wicked Medley by VoicePlay. I also forgot that they are joined by Rachel Potter, who is a constant guest star for their work, which I have no complaints over. Rachel's voice is beautiful and it's just really fun. And they're also joined by someone named Imani Wilkins, who I don't know. I don't recognize that name. I don't know who that person is. So I'm just setting up my risk. So I get to enjoy her voice for the first time. I know Rachel's voice fairly well because of the stuff that VoicePlay, because of her amount of time she's with VoicePlay. But I don't know Imani's very well. But I'm assuming she's probably gonna hit high notes too.
Nothing grows for the wicked, they reap only what they've sown.
So we're diving right into it. Now I know I have the Wicked. I'm gonna focus.
No one cries, they won't return. No one lays a lily on the grave. The good that scars the wicked. Through their lives our children learn.
I know, we're only 30 seconds in, I'm already pausing. So, I have listened to the Wicked soundtrack. When my mom got to see Wicked on Broadway years ago, she got it for me. I really loved it. I actually was able to figure, once I started really listening to the music, I actually was able to figure out the plot pretty well. I also have the book Wicked, by the way. I do not recommend that book. I did not like it. But I love the kind of like, I don't know, I love the feel and the sound. I don't remember the name of the style, but I kind of love, we're just diving right into this song in particular. I don't think this is how the play starts. I don't think so. But I like how this is where we're diving into. I like. No, I think this is how it starts, isn't it? That's Glinda's. So she's doing what I'm going to assume is that her mixed voice? Because it's kind of like up here, but it's not. It sounds like it's trapped in between here. Is that what's called a mixed voice? I told you I'm not a voice teacher. I'm just making stuff up. But she has this great kind of like forward sound. It's like sits right here, and that's. I remember someone had said something about Broadway having a very forward sound. I was like, what does that mean? I started listening to different Broadway singers. Like, I understand what it means. The sound, it's like the sound, if this is your profile, your face, it's like the sound sits in this kind of oval shape right here. So instead of being really far in the back or kind of down low, it's really forward, and which makes sense because for Broadway, you want that really forward sound. Sound, unlike light, does not travel as far. It also falls because it's heavier, so it goes. So you would want a more forward, projecty sound. But this arrangement's really fun. It's fun. I don't know. Is jazzy the word I'm looking for? Maybe, I don't know. But I'm gonna. How about I actually listen to them stop pausing every 30 seconds? His arrangement's really nice. This also kind of shows you that if you want to do it in a medley, you don't have to go in chronological order. You can go all over the place. I love how they are making this arrangement their own. There's like elements of the original sound, but it's theirs. It's slowed down, kind of easy listening sounding. You can listen to this in the elevator. That's nice. That was cute. I love this song too. Cute, very cute, Jess. Oh, I love this. I love how they're doing it, but Rachel's looking at him because she, in essence, I guess, okay, so what we've gathered already, and not just from hair color, but from sound, Rachel's Elphaba. Miss Amani is Glinda. I just clicked in me. So it makes sense that Rachel would look at, is it Eli? Would look at him because he's Fiyero. So, and then Fiyero kind of starts growing on Elphaba. So I love that little bit here of not just using the music, but Rachel like facing him. I like that. It just clicked my like who's playing who. It's a fun song. Nice. It's like a you like it at the club. Yeah, so she's Glinda. Oh, a pal, sister, and an advisor. I never knew this with the words. I love the bubbles. That's cute. I like that. Their sets have like been amazing with their videos. Nah, love that. I love this mix of having her singing Popular, which is, again, I haven't seen the actual play, but I have a gist of it, where it's kind of this moment where, like, Glinda's kind of open to Elphaba, and it's kind of the beginning where I think probably a true connection of their friendship. And then you have underlying One Short Day in Emerald City, which is kind of this beautiful moment where these two now best friends are entering Emerald City, which is kind of where things go downhill from there. But it's this beautiful mark of kind of their beginning of their friendship and another height of their friendship, which is One Short Day in Emerald City. One Short Day.
Just not quite as popular.
I love that Rachel's just facing people. That was cute.
'Cause it feels wonderful. They think
Of course, had to have Jeff as the wizard.
wonderful. This confetti
Is he great a little bit? Sorry, it's not important.
to build a town of green and a wonderful road of yellow brick.
Oh. Okay, so okay. So now we're okay. Sorry, I keep pausing a lot. I'm sorry. We're like only halfway through the video. I'll try to pull it back. I just like that with Jeff. I'm always afraid because for me, I'm an alto, so I'm always afraid of going up and down. I always try to say, like, if I'm up here, oh, I should go higher. But what I love with Jeff's voice is that, yeah, he can be up here, but he isn't afraid to go down and up and down and up. And I'm always afraid, like, oh no, if I'm up here, I really should stay kind of here this whole time, like with the sound. I shouldn't, I just shouldn't go up and down, up and down, up and down. And I think there's a time and a place for it. But I just love listening to Jeff, like, oh, I shouldn't be afraid to, like, yeah, maybe I'm in my head voice here, but because I'm an alto, because I can go deeper, I shouldn't be afraid to go deeper. Sorry. Now this is definitely a very original, unique arrangement for them. And what's beautiful about this is that you hear different versions of these songs. Oh, my computer. You hear a different version of nice. Pausing one more time. I'll stop, I swear. I pause too much. I pause too much. You hear versions of these songs over and over and over again. And some are really good, some really suck. So with a musical that's been running this long, with songs this well known, and yeah, maybe, people don't know One Short Day as well as they do as For Good or No Good Deed or stuff like other songs like that have that real emotional punch to it. It's nice when they kind of like, we're gonna change the key, switch it up, slow it down, speed it up, kind of really play with it. And they really were like, we're gonna really remix this. But now we're slowing down to For Good. And that's a song that's well loved, so are they going to make it their own, or are they going to kind of stick to the original?
I've heard it said
Nice.
that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow. If we let
I love how, they're all looking at them, but I love Rachel really turns her body towards them. I keep going out of focus.
I don't know if I believe that's true.
Come
But I know I'm who I am today because I knew you.
Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun. Like a stream that
Cute.
meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
Oh yeah, you gotta. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I know. I didn't pause as much. So, I love how they, and you hear it with some of the other songs as well, but here, especially here, where they just pulled back and they just let Monty's voice speak for itself. Same thing with Rachel. But it's also because Defying Gravity, which is now next, and For Good are probably the two most iconic songs, well-known songs of the musical. People, there are probably people who know these songs and don't know them from Wicked, because they hear them so much in so many versions. So, it's nice how, yes, there's still their little flares to it, but they kind of allow it to also stay closer to the original, just to kind of, because they're so iconic. Sorry.
I hope you're happy in the end. I hope you're happy, my friend.
I love that. I love that Rachel just stepped back and then boom. That was nice. That was so nice.
Everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying.
Whoever's doing their lighting and stuff is impeccable. The camera work's amazing too. There's a lot of camera work stuff going on.
Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity. And soon I'm
Of course.
and renowned. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is.
I love that I love that.
Never gonna bring me
All right. I heard that sub note.
Not when it comes to popular.
That was cute. All right, so now I'm going to do that thing that I like to do, where because I pause so much like a moron, I'm going to pause in between this and the review and re-listen to it and make some notes, which I will do now. Okay, so I re-listened to it. What a treat. What a treat. By the way, I don't know if you can pick up on it in terms of my microphone, but behind me is a space heater because I don't have working heat in my room. So if you're hearing what's that sound? That would be that. And I do apologize for my camera periodically going out of focus. It likes to do that when I'm not centered. So I gotta remember to work on that. Anyway, I really, really adore this. Now, there are things that I caught watching it again. I didn't catch the first time because I was listening more so in terms of vocals. But this time I was paying attention to some other stuff. So Jeff really was, you can see in the credits, he arranged it, he helped co-direct it with Eli, co-design it with Eli, the lighting, all that. Looks like, I'm assuming that's his wife, Kathy, so looks like Jeff's wife was involved as well as production manager, so it's definitely a family affair. But Jeff is incredibly involved with a lot of how everything is going. And it was just beautiful. The way the full shots were great. When we got close-ups with the singer, it wasn't, they were perfect. It wasn't too jumpy. It wasn't too all over the place. Because also Jeff was co-directing with Tony Joaquim. Makeup underway. So you basically got to see everybody sing when it was time for them to sing. There was a couple, they have some older videos where you can hear someone else singing, but it's not on them, which is very irritating. It also doesn't help if you're new to the group. So that wasn't the case this time at all. Those moments are so rare, by the way. So it's really nice to see everyone was getting the focus that they should have when they were singing. But also what's fun with the arrangements is that there are moments where it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. I don't know the gentleman's name, but I know now, I guess Caesar, because I'm reading through the comments. So, and Lane is the beatboxer. So, the young man, Caesar, I like how he got to share moments with Imani, because he has this very high voice. I guess that would make him a tenor? Is that what he is? Sorry, I'm just guessing. I think Eli, people said Eli is a baritone, right? But he just has a really great range. I loved Eli's, like, is that a falsetto he did earlier? And then he went into his normal voice for Dancing Through Life. That was really great. I do also enjoy watching, and I caught Rachel the first time, but I noticed when I was rewatching it that Eli was shifting his body to watch when Imani and Caesar were singing. Jeff's always at an angle, I think because he arranged it, so he's probably kind of directing it too. And I love that also, but I love those little moments like that where they're looking at the person who's performing. They're not just like in their own world looking straight ahead. They're focusing on them, making sure that, okay, this person's here, that's doing this, and so, okay, here I come in. And so it really adds to the performance when you're focusing on the person you're performing with. Again, I love that little moment where Rachel, before she went into Care to Find Me, she stepped back and then went out with it. The lighting design, which I think also was... So Eli and Jeff were involved with the lighting design, and the lighting was amazing. I love the adding, not lighting, but like the bubbles. Lane, I remember his name now, is, of course, I love those little moments where he gets to just kind of be him when he goes all over the place for his vocals, which reminded me, I was looking at them again and I noticed their microphones. So Eli, Caesar, Rachel, and Imani have the normal vocal flattish microphones. They might be the same brand mine is, where I think it's one-sided, so it only catches sound kind of within a certain parameter. But Lane and Jeff's have different kinds of mics. I think it might get the mic. So the way their mic is, I bet their mic is dual-sided instead of one-sided, like most of the vocal ones probably are one-sided. So it only gets what's in front of them and doesn't get kind of the ambient space. And of course, the sound engineer who's involved with this, who is audio mixer Ed Boyer, so he's definitely in charge of making whatever kind of weirdness that he might have picked up, making it sound super clean like that, in addition to them being just really talented. So I love the microphones they have, but I bet Jeff's and Lane's have dual-sided microphones because they go really high and really low, but they also have sounds that are just kind of really funky. And so instead of the mics being kind of flat like this for voices, it's kind of angled down and it's a different kind of microphone. But I saw Jeff's mic and he was like, oh, it's different than the others. And I was like, I wonder if Lane's is too because of his low notes and his sound. And it was. Also, I didn't realize how big Lane is. He's a big man. I was like, I didn't notice that before. So... But I guess it also makes sense. He's a big guy. I think he's probably a bass too, because he can go really low. In addition to his higher sounds, when he also has amazing vocal range as a beatboxer, because he can go super low but super high and has these funky sounds. But the arrangement drifted. It's tight. It's great. I realize it's called Chance to Fly, so it's not a complete medley of all the songs, which sometimes you really can't do because that would be really, really difficult. So it's certain songs surrounding certain moments of these characters. The singing is great. I liked Imani's little tooth gap. That was super cute. But also it kind of reminded me that, oh, with that tooth gap, I bet she can hit sounds that maybe some people might struggle with because she has that kind of air that's there. I just remember something because her gap there affects her palate. And the shape of her, not embouchure, but her palate, so it kind of affects her sound a little bit. So she should probably never get that fixed. And she probably, as she got older, it probably started developing. And kids are self-conscious, so she probably wanted to get rid of it, but my hope is that she had somebody in her life, and I'm assuming so, who went, no, because I bet she starts at a young age. And someone said, no, don't screw with that, it'll mess with your sound. But I'm just hypothesizing. I don't know who this woman is. I don't know Imani Wilkins. I don't know her sound or her music. But I really, really enjoyed this. This was fun. I don't know if I should start... I've definitely paused way too much, so I need to, like, take a chill pill with the pausing. I just do. I have a lot to say, but I need to, like, just shut up and, like, pick and choose what to talk about when and how. The arrangement, it was nice. It was solid. I think Jeff does a lot of the arranging. It was fun. They made the sound their own, but for the really iconic songs, they let that kind of the original sound come through because they are so recognizable. It's probably not entirely that wise to kind of screw with the sound that much. But even then, they still kind of had these little accent notes going on where even when Imani was doing, like, she was doing the normal harmony that she was supposed to do as Glinda, but then Rachel earlier, she was doing she wasn't doing the melody, she was doing an additional harmony. So it was, but they were still, unsurprisingly, they were harmonized together, but it wasn't the original sound that you would typically hear with the song, or the original harmonies that you would typically hear in that moment of the song. So even the more memorable, iconic songs, they still kind of add a little bits and pieces. And it kind of makes sense that the more they do, someone said this is the 10th arrangement that they do with Rachel, the more they work with Rachel, by now they definitely know what Rachel can and cannot do. And so that allows Jeff and any other arranger to get really creative because they know what kind of voice they're working with. And they probably know Imani's voice well enough as well to know, like, hey, what can and can't you do? So I'm not sure the process of, like, does the arrangement come first and then the people? Does the people come first and, like, okay, here are the people, let's make the arrangement based upon their voices. And I also love moments where within this arrangement, you've got Jeff going really low and up higher, you've got Lane doing his thing with Eli and Caesar, but they were doing a lot of the supporting vocals. But also what's nice about this, and what's nice about, again, I'm blanking on their name with Tim Faust, he's their bass, is that allowing the bass to sing, allowing the bass to add vocals behind it. They're not just doing low notes and kind of sustained notes. That, and it kind of makes sense, Jeff arrangement too, so he would, you know, allow himself some room to sing. But I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. This is just a really fun arrangement. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry this one was kind of all over the place. It's been a while since I did a music video reaction, so my brain's kind of like ping, 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 pong. It's just, I'm all over the place. Maybe because I had coffee. I think it's the coffee. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies. Go check out my Patreon if you feel so inclined. And I'll see you next time.